Hello and welcome to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. This is versus JD, and as you can see, he is using a mixed tier team and I'm using a UU team with a 1 NU. So he leads out with his Raru or his Uxie and I go out to my Ambipom. I don't really know what set that is, so straight away I just go over to Fake Out. I see that it has leftovers, and so this is probably a lead Uxie, hence he's leading with it. So I go for the taunt. He can't move after the taunt when he goes for the Thunder Wave. Here I don't really have anything to hit it with my other attack move being low kick, so I just go for the U-turn to get the super effective hit. Unfortunately, I do get a crit, and that is one unfortunate crit in this game. He also decides to go for the U-turn, and I switched out into my Sigilyph, and he goes to Macau, his Stunfisk, his Herp to Derp. Macau's not a derp, although he does like to dive headfirst into things. Here I go for the Psycho Shift and get a burn on him, and he goes for the Thunderbolt. I didn't really know what to expect from that thing, and he just went straight for the Thunderbolt, and it did a pretty good amount of damage. Fortunately for me, I do have Roost, and I just get rid of most of that damage while he does get a burn. My plan here was to kind of burn stall that thing, but it's kind of hard, you know, with a derp. So, with a Sludge Wave does do a significant amount of damage, enough for me to want to Roost up. He goes for the Thunderbolts again, seeing how Sludge Wave didn't do too much damage, but Thunder Wave didn't do much because I did lose my flying type. I go into my Garbodor so I can start setting up hazards on that thing. I was predicting for him to go to Sludge Wave because it did do more damage, but he just goes straight to the Thunderbolt. He switches out into his Nidoking, and here I could have set up Toxic Spikes, but I don't know why I didn't. This is his only poison type on his team. And my Garbodor is pretty specially bulky, so it should be able to sponge up that damage, and I am able to get up 2 layers of spikes before he dies. I go to my Zoomarrow to try to Aqua Jet that thing and revenge kill it. I'm not sure that it'll kill it though, but he switches out to his Zateria. Good play for him, on his parts. And it quad resist it, or does it? No, it doesn't. It does not quad resist it. It only half resists it, and it does not do much damage. Since I am banded, I am forced out to switch back into my Sigilyph so I can start Cosmic Powering. And this thing is an original applause Altaria. It is defensively Cotton Guard, Protect, Toxic, and another move, which you will see in a short while. So here I try to set up Cosmic Powers so I could start using stored power on that thing and perhaps sweep his team maybe? But no, he's like, get out of my face, woman! So he just Dragon Tails me out into my Azumarill. It gets a Toxic on me, which isn't too bad. I'd rather have it Toxic than burned. And I go for the Ice Punch, and huge power, choice band, Ice Punch, not gonna do much damage. Only did half, and after leftovers he gets more than half HP. And Cotton Guard Altaria is a monster. The only thing that'll take it down is probably an Ice Beam, which I do not have. So it is pretty good in the lower tiers, and this thing is monstrous. As you can see, it just used 2 Cotton Guards, and now it has +6 defense. Wow, 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 wow. Seeing as my Donphan can't really do much to that Altaria, I just decide to set up some rocks, and I go back out into my Sigilyph, predicting the Toxic, and I didn't want my Donphan to get Toxic, so I switched out, and he can't really do anything. I get the burn on him, forcing him to switch out. If he doesn't want to die, then he will be forced to switch out, getting rid of his +6 defense. He Dragon Tails me again into my Zoomarrow, and I do believe I get, whatchamacallit. Yeah. No, you don't call it that. You don't call it a yeah. Zach, what are you thinking? Goes back into his Uxie, and I switch out for parts unknown into my Chandelure. This thing is Specs, and it should be able to take it out, that Uxie out with a Shadow Ball. A little bit of overkill, but oh well, I just wanted to go for the safe thing. Nothing really resisted that Shadow Ball. He goes out into his Link, and I'm like, what the hell? What? Link is not brown, JD. This is not Indian Zelda. He has green clothes, mind you. So, I didn't really predict a Thunder Punch, I just went into my Donphan to kind of take a physical hit, and the Ice Punch, it does about a little more than half damage. The Earthquake is enough to take out that Hitmonchan, that Jackie Chan, because it is pretty frail. He goes out into his Midas, his Sceptile, and I don't want to get Leaf Stormed or Leaf Bladed by that thing, so predicting that, I go out into my Chandelure to take the hit. It did do a decent chunk, I mean, considering I'm resistive to it, but because he has Life Orb and he's a mixed attacker, I was not expecting the Earthquake, and Chandelure goes down. Now, he's using a lot of original sets, so kudos to him. This is precisely why I like NU. I do go for the fake out, and I get a crit, probably mattered, second crit of the game, probably the last crit of the game, and I had both the crits, and it does take it out as it is frail. It goes out into his Nidoking and uses Earth Power. My plan here was to just U-turn out, so save my Ambipom for later so I could fake out again. And I do believe I go out into me, Azumarill. Why does this thing have leftovers? That is a mistake right there. It should have a choice band. And that is incorrect right there. Probably why Ice Punch isn't doing much to Altaria. But I do predict him switching out to his Altaria to take whatever hit I'm trying to go to. He was probably predicting an Aqua Jet. And I do take out his Altaria. He goes back out into his Nidoking. I do believe that is his last Pokemon. So I switch out into Donphan, take the Thunderbolts. He can't really do anything because he is Scarfed. I thought he was Life Orb because Life Orb Nidoking is boss. Oh, no. That is not his last Pokemon. He still has the Herp to Derp. Yeah, so I just Earthquake, seeing as his only two Pokemon are weak to ground type, so I'm going to kill whatever comes in. Reason being, he switched out into his Herp to Derp as a Death Fodder, so he could switch the move he had because he is Choice Scarfed. I get some HP back with leftovers, and that his last Pokemon, he is going to Ice Beam, I do believe. Yeah. And my Donphan is not specially bulky at all, so it does faint. Sad face. Fortunately for me, I do have a plethora of Pokemon left, probably like 3, I do believe. I say I do believe a lot. I Aqua Jet that thing to death, and that was a good game, JD. Thank you, and toodaloo.